Right now, somewhere in a lab, a scientist is working on a drug that might save your life. And somewhere in an office, an exec is working out how to charge you £500 for it. Both are happening at the same time. Let's talk about it. The global pharmaceutical industry makes $1.48 trillion a year. That's more than the GDP of Spain and the Netherlands combined. This is not a small, niche thing. This is one of the most powerful industries on Earth. Pharma gave us vaccines, antibiotics, and HIV treatments that turned a death sentence into a manageable condition. It also gave us the opioid crisis, 100-pound asthma inhalers, and drugs that treat symptoms without ever curing the cause. Insulin was invented in 1921. The patent was sold for £1 so everyone could access it. And yet, in America, a vial of insulin, which cost £2 to make, was being sold for over £280. That's not healthcare. That's exploitation. Developing a new drug takes 10 to 15 years and roughly $2.6 billion. That's a real cost. Companies genuinely take enormous financial risks. Most drugs and trials never make it to market. So there is a legitimate reason prices aren't cheap. When a drug gets approved, the company holds a patent, an exclusive right to sell it, for about 20 years. No competition means they set whatever price they want. When it expires, other companies make identical copies called generics, which cost up to 85% less. Here's where it gets murky. Before a patent expires, companies often file dozens of new patents, a slightly different coating, a new dosage form, to reset the clock. It's called evergreening. Humira, the world's best-selling drug, had 257 patents filed specifically to block cheaper versions. Now here's the bit that should make you raise an eyebrow. Big Pharma spends about 15% of revenue on research and development. They spend more than that, closer to 25%, on marketing, convincing doctors to prescribe, convincing you to ask for it by name. Purdue Pharma told doctors that OxyContin wasn't addictive. It was. 500,000 Americans died in the opioid crisis. Purdue paid $8 billion in fines. The Sackler family, who owned the company, kept most of their £11 billion fortune. The incentives were wrong, and people paid with their lives. Here's the good news if you're in the UK. You are protected in a way most of the world isn't. One NHS prescription costs £9.90 in England, regardless of what the drug's retail price actually is. Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland get them free entirely. If you're in England and you take 2 or more regular prescriptions, get a prepayment certificate, a PPC. It costs £11.60 a year and covers every single prescription you need. You buy it at nhsbsa.nhs.uk or at any pharmacy counter. Simple. 5 words. Commit them to memory. Is there a generic version? Ask this every single time. Lipitor and atorvastatin are the same drug. Prozac and fluoxetine are the same drug. The generic is up to 90% cheaper. Your GP must prescribe by generic name if you ask. You are allowed to ask why you're being put on a drug, how long you'll need it, and whether lifestyle changes could reduce or remove the need. You can ask for a second opinion on any long-term prescription. The NHS is yours. You have the right to be curious. Individual actions matter, but the real change is structural. Support campaigns pushing for transparent R&D cost reporting, prize-based drug development funding, and universal pricing reform. Write to your MP. The incentives won't change unless people demand it. The most common mistake? Assuming branded means better. It doesn't. The active ingredient is identical by law. Nurofen and ibuprofen are the same molecule. Nurofen costs 4 times more in Boots. You're paying for the packaging, nothing else. Pharma isn't uniquely evil. It's a system responding to the incentives built around it. Profit motive, patent law, lobbying power. Change those incentives through regulation, competition, and political pressure, and you change what the industry produces. Here's what you can actually do right now. Check your repeat prescriptions. Google each drug name plus generic UK. Ask your GP at your next appointment. Takes 10 minutes, saves you real money. and it starts a habit of questioning what the system hands you. That's it for today. The world isn't simple, neither is medicine, but you're sharper now than you were 5 minutes ago. If this helped, subscribe. New video every week breaking down the systems that run your life, in plain English. See you next time.